All right, let's talk about Malik Nabers, who I thought, going into this process, he was a lot of people's favorite wide receiver. Actually, he was most people's second favorite wide receiver. Marvin Harrison Jr. was kind of number one, but I thought Malik Nabers, quite frankly, was awesome as a rookie, despite a tough situation. There were a lot of plays like what you see on the screen. Going to be just a quick wide receiver screen pass trying to get the ball in Malik Nabers' hands. Watch how when this begins, you see that Drew Lock is going to quickly flip it to Nabers. And as of right here, okay, what are you expecting? Well, there's it's a well-blocked play, well enough blocked play. You expect him to at least get up, kind of past a couple players around him, and probably get tackled by the safety. But watch how explosive where he is where he is able to get past those guys, but also gets in position to where he breaks a tackle against the safety and ends up getting all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. It wasn't easy enough, it wasn't that easy just to get to the safety, let alone to get past him in that situation on that play. And it's these highlight reel type plays that really is something else with Nabers. Now, going over to a play like this, to be clear, he is not just a highlight reel player. He can do the normal stuff, the traditional routes that you need to run if you're going to be a successful NFL player. This one is going to be a play action. You see that there's going to be a player. Malik Nabers is going to be running over the middle on this play. That's the way it's designed to work. And since it's zone coverage, if you can get those players covering over the middle to sell for the play fake, try to defend the run, that's how you can open up windows past them. Once Locke takes the snap, he is going to start to run this play action, and you see Nabers doing a very good job of not selling where he's going to be going right now, right? You can't tell exactly what direction he's about to turn. So then when he does cut over the middle, he gets wide open. Again, not easy to bring down either. Finally does get brought down, but not after a gain. So again, the highlights are the highlights, and those exist, and those are fun, but he can also just do the traditional stuff. He can run the routes you need him to run. And one thing I also really value with his game is you saw the Giants really just a lot of times run their offense through him, which can also set things up for other types of plays. Like, let's look at this play, for example. So in this game in particular, there's a reason why I wanted to use footage from this game, because this was a Malik Nabers game. He was their offense. And so what's happening? You're throwing to him constantly. What is the defense going to do? Well, they're going to take notice, right? People aren't stupid. They recognize patterns. If you're throwing to the same guy over and over again, they'll try and defend him. So on this play, which really is just a setup route, you see Nabers going for a deep shot, and he's a little bit open there too. They could probably throw it. Locke could probably throw it there if he wants to, but the middle linebacker and the safety are looking towards Nabers. They're trying to cover him, but Nabers is not the main route on this play. That is the route that really the Giants want to throw to. A lot of people like to refer to this as gravity, where, how gravity works, right? If there's a planet, other planets will start to follow that one, right? If there's a big enough object, other objects follow the big object. Well, if you're a good enough wide receiver, then defenders start to follow you, which means that maybe a quote-unquote smaller target here is what ends up getting left alone. As you see, Locke runs this play well, and they're able to actually get a touchdown on this play. And I'm sorry, but if the number on the back of Malik Nabers' jersey wasn't 1, and he was somebody else who ran that exact same route, that isn't a touchdown. Even though he didn't even touch the football, he had a massive impact on that play. And again, as a rookie, he's already drawing this kind of attention. And you can see why. Because, let's look at this, which when you draft a receiver very early on, which the Giants did, this is what you're hoping that receiver can do. You're hoping that receiver can win in a one-on-one matchup with a single safety deep, and not just that, the safety is shaded over towards the top of the screen, which is a mistake. He's on the hash marks away from Malik Nabers. He's doing that because that's kind of the direction the ball is getting snapped, but still, you got to know the personnel. You got to be paying more attention to Nabers here, so let's see what happens. Well, first, you're going to see that despite the corner giving up some space, it's just not enough. Nabers is so explosive. He's able to essentially just blow by him right away. And if this is a perfect throw, this is going to be an easy throw and catch touchdown. But the Giants did not have a lot of perfect throws last year, and that was certainly something that Nabers had to deal with, was not being in the most ideal situation every snap. This throw is not going to be perfect. However, watch how Nabers is still able to adjust and make that very impressive play. Again, that could have easily been a touchdown with a good throw, but even when it wasn't a good throw, he was able to adjust and still make the grab. This is a high-level play, right? This is number 1 receiver type of stuff already as a rookie. And just for fun, he can do stuff like this too, where this is more of a, just sometimes these kind of things can happen with a star receiver where he's going to try and just get into a gap in coverage, simple enough right here. Watch as when Locke takes the snap, he's going to flip the ball to Nabers. Nothing fancy at this point. Well done concept by the Giants. Well ran route by Nabers. But this is really where he's going to shine on this one. First, watch the footwork and just awareness to know where he can step to get around those first two defenders. Unfortunately, there's another Colts player who's ready to come in and make a tackle, and Nabers had to essentially completely stop to avoid those first two Colts players. But again, watch just the pure acceleration here. I mean, look at that. It's like he ran over a mushroom in Mario Kart or something. He just starts flying. He ends up getting into the end zone for a touchdown. It's these types of just game-breaking plays that, again, if you remember this game, the Colts needed to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Giants needed to lose this to keep their number one overall pick hopes alive. And Malik Nabers just essentially ruined it for everybody because he's so good. With, hey, if you're a Giants fan, first off, you got Abdul Carter. It worked out all right. But also, yes, the draft capital, whatever. You're just happy you have a good player, though, who can take over games like that. So, yeah, it's impressive stuff by Nabers. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately for Nabers, he's played really well. And there's always the discussion, right, when you have a player like him of, what could he be in a perfect situation? If you got everything around him, how good would it be? But ultimately, maybe we don't have to have that discussion because he's already just playing awesome, right? It's almost like when Mike Evans entered the league, he was in a bad situation, but he just played well right away. Some guys are just, I don't want to say situation proof because, again, ultimately you do need someone to get you to football and all that, but some guys you don't need to be in a perfect situation to succeed as long as you just get them to football. And the one thing the Giants did a great job of was just getting him to football, but throwing it in his direction, even if it wasn't perfect every single time. Just understanding he is our offense, he is where we need to be going, and it's again really impressive that not only was he able to do this just in general, but the fact that he was able to do this as a rookie is just truly remarkable. So yeah, ultimately, I'm buying all the Malik Nabers stock that I can. I think this guy is, I don't want to say going to be a superstar. I think he's already on the verge of being a superstar. I think he could be an elite player sooner rather than later, but at least that's how I view all of this. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree with me that he's kind of already an elite player, or does he still have some work to do? I should say already elite, because he's probably not Justin Jefferson yet, but he could get there for sure. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.